video game!
Classic video game publisher Acclaim, one of the biggest publishers of the 90s, thanks to home ports such as Mortal Kombat, NBA Jam, WWF games, before going out of business over 20 years ago, is making a comeback. They're back in business, and this is one of the weirdest stories I've ever read. I'm going to read this from Video Games Chronicle, written by Chris Scullion. Iconic game publisher Acclaim has been resurrected, with wrestler Jeff Jarrett as advisor. Acclaim, the U.S. game publisher that enjoyed success in the 1990s, is being resurrected. Originally founded in 1987, Acclaim became known for a steady stream of games based on popular IPs before eventually declaring bankruptcy in 2004. Now, more than 20 years later, Acclaim is back, led by CEO Alex Joseph, the former founder and CEO of Graffiti Games. In a statement, the publisher says its initial goals are to support indie developers and reignite classic franchises, providing funding, marketing, and PC support to indie studios. Acclaim was perhaps best known for its licensed games, and one of the key aims of the new company is to resurrect and revitalize its beloved portfolio of classic IP enjoyed for years by millions of players. This part is interesting to me because they sold off everything when they declared bankruptcy. So are they buying back old IPs? And I don't know, like, what were their IPs? Because we mentioned Mortal Kombat, NBA Jam, WWF games. The majority of Acclaim games that I remember were all licensed. Now, I know they published Turok. I don't know if they owned that before selling it. But, like, let's look at some of these games on the list. The Simpsons, Bart vs. the Space Mutants, Beetlejuice, Punisher, Bill and Ted. Now, did they publish Smash TV? I wonder if they owned Smash TV. That could be one of their original ones. But like I said, when they declared bankruptcy, they sold everything off. They had a good baseball series that I played on the N64, All-Star Baseball. That one was good. But look at this: Spider-Man, Alien 3, Terminator 2, Predator. So, like, yeah, Mortal Kombat, they did the home ports of, and NBA Jam. So I'm wondering, like, what IPs they want to bring back, classic IPs, unless they're going to go back and get some licensing of games that they used to have. I don't know, because it doesn't say, but let's continue reading this. So, to accomplish this resurrection, an advisory board of esteemed industry leaders has been set up to shape the publisher's future, with board members including Russell Binder, Mark Kaplan, and wrestler and entrepreneur Jeff Jarrett. Jarrett, who previously starred in Acclaim's WWF Attitude game, said, "For more than 3 decades, I've had the privilege to have been a part of both the wrestling and gaming universes, and I'm thrilled to now be a partner in the revival of Acclaim, an iconic publisher known for releasing some of the most legendary games of the 80s and 90s. From my early involvement with the publisher's hit 16-bit WWF titles, to my experience helping shape the TNA wrestling series, which spawned the first video game wrestler to become a full-time roster member in the Squared Circle." How many people remember that? That Suicide came from the TNA video game. "I've seen firsthand the type of impact great games can have on players and fans. Resurrecting Acclaim is an opportunity to impart the same degree of passion and love to a new generation, and I'm excited to be involved." Man, how does Jeff Jarrett get involved in this stuff? This is crazy to me. I would love to know the backstory of how Acclaim, a big video game publisher from the 90s, late 80s, NBA Jam, Mortal Kombat, decides to make a huge comeback, and Jeff Jarrett is part of this. That's nuts to me. But it does say, their focus is on indies. To me, that's kind of like a confusing part of this, is they want to revive classic franchises, but they're going to be focused on indies. So I don't know how that's going to work, unless they're going to have indie companies make the games like they look like they were on the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. That's possible. I'm classic. I'm old school. I love stories like these. I love seeing things come back from the old days. I hope they keep the original logo. Well, I don't know if that's the original logo, but that's the one I remember. That's the one everybody remembers, that Acclaim logo. But like a lot of their big games weren't their games. They just published ports of them, you know? So I wonder what their plans are going to be to support indie developers and reignite classic franchises. Those are their initial goals. Hey, maybe they'll get some licensing. I mean, obviously they can't get Mortal Kombat. I know a lot of their stuff was sold off, like I said, in the bankruptcy. I'm sure some of these licenses they could get, like Terminator, because 2 different companies have made Terminator games within the past few years, so I'm sure they license to anybody. Alien, probably. They could probably get those. RoboCop, if they did a 2D, like old school looking RoboCop or something. So we'll have to see if they're buying back their old franchises, what they're going to do. How long is this going to take? If they make a Jeff Jarrett third-person shooter, I'm all in.